Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane K. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 10, A Man After My Own Heart. The episode opens with Christine visiting Tony and McKelty in Salt Lake. Christine and David are going to be babysitting the twins so that Taco Tony can have date night with his wife. Christine loves most in David that he loves kids. He loves being a grandfather to his own grandkids, and Christine found that most endearing about him. He really is the opposite of Cody. You juxtapose David and the close relationship he has with his kids. The kids he raised alone after his wife died, and then you take the invested relationship he has with his grandkids, and you truly see he is the polar opposite of Cody, who hasn't even bothered to see some of his grandkids in over 3 years. David seems to be a different kind of man, operating with a much better consciousness and a much higher character than Cody, and it definitely shows. David seems to put effort into his relationships with his kids. He seems to have good standing relationships with his kids, and he raised them single-handedly after his wife died. That says a lot. I'd love to see Cody being capable of that. He never would be. Now, Christine calls David a sexy grandpa. She's all the way into him. Christine really loved Gwen's engagement party, but she was really stressed about David meeting Cody. But David, on the other hand, was very excited to meet Cody. He was ready for it. Christine was happy that they were both chill. They both behaved like gentlemen. Christine loves being a grandma. She loves investing in her grandkids and spending time with them. She commends how McKelty and Maddie handle motherhood and parenthood in such a stress-free way. She loves being involved with all of her grandkids and with all of the kids. That's her main priority, and David is all about that too. So, of course, we know Christine and David have a very fast-moving relationship. They met 5 months ago online. 3 months ago, they had their first date at this point. And now they've already bought a house and they're moving in together. Now, Christine knows this is fast, but she feels when you know, you know. You know, it's really cool to see Christine's resilience. Whether or not we think this is too fast, that's irrelevant, really. I really admire that after so much hurt and so much loneliness and all of that emotional suffering for all those decades being married to a man like Cody, that it didn't jade Christine. When it comes to wanting love, Christine didn't close herself off. Despite all the hurt and the terrible experience, she was still able to jump in feet first into this relationship. She was still able to trust. And that really says a lot about how strong Christine is. And I think that's admirable. Back in Parowan, Mary is at the inn, and she and Jen and Blair are doing some painting since Mary is moving in. I have never seen Mary this light and this happy and this giggly. Mary admits that she really laughs a lot with her bestie, Jen. It shows that they're besties. It shows that Jen is Mary's true friend, that Jen has her back. And Mary seems really happy, at peace, full of life in Parowan. I think that's where she's meant to be for now. Now, Mary says for the past decade, she lived a single life. She doesn't even remember a time when she traveled, got to her destination, where she had anyone to even call and check in on her to make sure she got there safely. Mary wants someone to check in with, and she admits that was never Cody, and Mary finds that to be sad. Mary wants someone to love, and she really looks forward to that, but she knows when that time comes, it's going to feel strange because that isn't something that she's used to. Christine recalls her role in the plural family. She says, in the early days, she was home with the kids. She was the one who was there the most, who was really raising the kids, actively being the main caregiver. Cody was gone a lot. Janelle worked full time, so it fell to her. And at one point, there were 5 kids in diapers all at once. So Christine got really adjusted and good with the routines. She did it all. She was super mom. She was superwoman. Christine says she had fun raising the kids. And she tells David about Gabe and Gwen. They were very close. They referred to Gwen and Gabe as the twins since they were just born 4 days apart. Christine says it was hard, but it was fun. And to this day, we see how bonded Christine is with all of the kids in the family. She truly is a mom to all of them. She truly is still a support system for all of the kids in the family. And I think that that's wonderful. Christine really loves those kids and they love her right back, and they always will have that bond. Now, Janelle acknowledges that Christine had very hard work with raising the kids, with caregiving for the kids, especially when Gabe and Gwen were born and she had to deal with them together. Mary explains that when Gabe and Gwen were born, it was so much work that she had to take time off of work to help while Janelle and Christine were still healing from childbirth. And at that time, they were very secretive about being polygamous. So she had a very hard time finding a reason to get time off of work. They kept their family a secret back then. So Mary had to be very vague about why she was taking time off. She explains that it's hard for a plural family to stay on the down low because sometimes wives get pregnant all at once, and it's very hard to hide that in a small town, especially in small town Wyoming. So back to Christine and David. They've bought this brand new home. It's beautiful. It's everything they wanted. It's also very close to McKelty, and it's close to David's grandkids as well. So everyone is happy, and this house is in Lehigh. And of course, Lehigh is where the Browns lived when we first met them, when they were all living in the one house. Christine is glowing. She's very excited. And David has already planned the yard and the hot tub. He's just waiting for Christine's approval. Now, Christine points out that whenever she mentions wanting something just once, David is already on it. He plans it, he gets it done, and he gets it done quick. In Flagstaff, Christine had that home. She wanted to do all these things in the yard. She had a huge yard. And Cody talked about doing those things, but it never got done. With David, when she mentions things to David, she mentions it once and it just happens. And Christine loves being heard. For the first time in her life, Christine is going to feel like what it feels like when you have a husband, when you have a partner who has your back, who listens when you speak, who cares about you, who cares about your well-being and how you feel. They're truly equals. They're truly partners in life. And Christine is going to get that support. And I'm really excited to see where that takes Christine in her development. I think she is just going to blossom. And I think we're going to see Christine just really happy in herself, really happy with her life. And I think she deserves every moment of joy and peace that she gets after such a struggle with Cody. Christine is really excited to start this next chapter of her life. Back in Parowan, Jen asks Mary how Cody feels about Mary giving away all of the furniture they bought together to her sister. Mary says it doesn't matter what Cody thinks anymore because they are divorced. Mary recounts how Cody came in and he asked her if she was keeping the furniture for nostalgia's sake. What nostalgia? It's only going to bring up sadness and negativity and a time when Mary felt very alone and isolated in her marriage with a husband who wasn't acting as a husband to her, who wasn't making an effort. Why would she want to remember her broken marriage? Now, Mary says she feels nostalgia towards her grandmother's furniture, but not towards the furniture that reminds her of her broken marriage. Exactly. And Cody being concerned about this makes Mary think that maybe Cody is the one still dealing with the emotions of the divorce. Mary says Cody has wanted this done for so long, so this confuses her because it feels like Cody hasn't quite embraced this. Cody embraced this. Cody just wants sympathy and the pity party, and he wants to feel sorry for himself. Cody embraced this. This is what Cody wanted. Now, Mary says she talked to Cody and Robin months ago. They were out on the property, and she let them know she was not renewing her lease in Flagstaff that's due in the summer. Mary feels it doesn't really matter that Cody knows she's moving. They aren't married. Mary feels that at this point, Cody doesn't really need to know what she does. Mary thinks since they moved to Flagstaff, those years in Flagstaff have been very confusing for her. She says around the time they left Vegas, Cody would give her a lot of false hope. Cody would tell her that this will be great for them. It's going to be a new chance at a relationship. They can put things in the past behind them. They can start new. And then they got to Flagstaff. At the start, Cody seemed very involved. He helped Mary find a couple rentals. And then Mary says on their first anniversary in Flagstaff, They went to the Grand Canyon. They took some cool pictures. They had fun. They drank a little bit. And Cody cheers Mary to a new beginning. Now, Mary was in a position where she had been iced out by Cody for a long time. So, of course, all she wants is to hear that Cody is invested because she never wanted this to end. She was committed to Cody. Mary is very loyal to a fault. And she wanted to be with Cody. So this is the stuff she was wanting to hear. And Cody knew that. And Cody told her these things like it's a new beginning. We're going to try. So, of course, Mary took it seriously. At this point, she thought it was awesome. And she says Cody was involved. He seemed like he was interested for a time. And then all of a sudden he would pull back. He would stay away for a long time. Cody was manipulating Mary, telling her what she wanted to hear, stringing her along on purpose, just basically to please Robin, in my opinion. He didn't give a fuck about Mary or her feelings. He didn't have any respect for her as a human being, as the mother of his kid who gave him decades of her life. So Cody would act invested. He would say the right things. He would spend time with her. Then he would pull away. So Mary wouldn't hear from Cody. He would never call Mary. And Mary says many things Cody said and did were very confusing to her over the years. And that's why she stayed with him for so long. She says even more recently, in the last couple of years, Cody would talk to her almost like he needed to vent. He would open up to her. They would have these vulnerable conversations. So Mary took that as him opening up and talking to her as him being open to her. And of course, she perceived that as maybe Cody opening doors for them to have other conversations. She perceived Cody venting to her as a potential that now they were going to start working on things. Mary says that's how it felt for her, since he would come to her, he would vent to her, he would talk to her, that he was gearing up to try with her. And that's what Cody would say. And of course, Cody ignores her. Cody doesn't pay attention to her. Then all of a sudden he's coming venting to her, using her as his emotional support person. So in Mary's mind, she's taking this as genuine, as, oh, he really is opening up to me. He's taking me seriously. Maybe we're going to get more serious. Maybe he's going to try with me. And instead, he's just basically using her and stringing along. Now, in my opinion, Cody was just using Mary to vent like an emotional support person, just like Robin used Mary. Cody was stringing Mary along, and he was just doing it to appease Robin, when he knew, in my opinion, all along that he wasn't ever going to be interested. In my opinion, Cody knew he was done with Mary. He knew what he wanted to accomplish, the monogamy with Robin. And I think he used Mary as a person just to vent to, just basically for his ego, to make himself feel better, with no regard for Mary, with no regard for Mary's feelings, with no regard for how his vulnerability with her, along with his words, might lead her to believe that maybe there was hope, that maybe he was interested. I think Cody selfishly used Mary to vent, and I think he led her on, and I think he knew he was stringing her along, and he did it just for Robin's sake. I think that was incredibly unfair to Mary, and I think, yes, Mary was aware of how cruel Cody could be, but in her heart, she loved him, and she was committed to this, and Mary is very loyal, and Mary was raised in this faith where you just don't leave, it's for eternity. She would do anything to make it work, and I think Cody knew how Mary is, and he knew that he could string her along. So he did. He strung her along, and him opening up to her and venting to her led her to believe that he was letting her in, when really he was just using her and he was being cruel. And I find that despicable, and I find that disgusting. I think Cody is a coward. Cody doesn't act like a man, and I think he sucked Mary dry emotionally, using her to the last second he could, knowing she would stay until he made it impossible for her to. That's incredibly toxic, and it's incredibly fucked up. Now, Cody says he and Mary were trying to work things out, and he claims he got completely over the catfishing thing. That wasn't even an issue for him. I don't buy that. Listen, a man like Cody with his ego will never forget the catfishing thing. Cody was never going to forgive that. In my opinion, that's a bold-faced lie. Cody says he was trying to be curious with Mary. He was trying to figure things out with Mary. He says there was never a fertile bed for love to grow. He says they weren't even like a dating couple. They were a completely estranged couple who were separated and on the brink of divorce for 8 years. He goes on to say that he and Mary would travel together, they would hang out, but they just never functioned as a married couple. Cody doesn't even think they slept in the same bed in 8 years, even when they were in hotel rooms together. That's not a new revelation. I mean, we all remember when Cody was taking that trip with Mary, and I guess a reporter called, and he made a point to let the reporter know, we don't act like a married couple, like we're not intimate. He said something that suggested to that effect that they're not, intimate together. There was no need for him to do that, and he just said that to basically be cruel to Mary and let her know there's no chance in hell it's going to happen. Now, Mary says Cody told her he decided 2 years ago that he wasn't going to move forward with fixing their marriage or their relationship. And Mary doesn't think it was fair. She wishes Cody just told her that straight up 2 years ago. It's not fair. Cody is a coward. He doesn't give a fuck what was fair to Mary. He doesn't give a fuck about Mary's feelings. He did whatever it was just to appease Robin and string Mary along. And that was all done for Robin's sake, for Robin's benefit, with zero regard for Mary's well-being and with zero respect for all of the years they spent together. Cody treated Mary like trash way before the catfish. And, Cody's saying they haven't shared a bed in 8 years, but we know it's longer than that. Because Mary said back in Vegas that they hadn't been intimate for over a decade. And that was starting around the time of Vegas. So it's been around a decade, more than a decade. So Mary says Cody was having these feelings that he was done. And she would have been cool if he just told her about it instead of all the mixed messages she kept getting. Cody was more than content to manipulate Mary to just give her crumbs, just enough to keep her staying in, just to appease Robin, basically. That is so fucked up. Blair feels Cody led Mary on, and of course, Mary and Jen agree. Mary says she was shocked when Cody admitted to her that he decided himself 2 years ago that it was done. She wonders if Cody just forgot to mention it. She would have liked to know that instead of hanging on for those 2 years. Cody knew all along, but he didn't want to piss Robin off again. So to put on a show for his favorite wife, he decided that it was cool, that it was acceptable to string Mary along. Now, Jen points out that Mary never stopped loving Cody. And Mary says Cody asked her over the years to do a lot of things for him to be willing to work on their relationship. Cody had a list of specific things he wanted Mary to do in order for them to be able to work on their marriage. And Mary says she completed that list. And once she got every last thing on that list done, Cody was done. That list was just to keep Mary spinning her wheels. Cody never had any intention of getting back with Mary or fixing things. Mary recognizes now that Cody knew he couldn't ask her to do anything else once she did the whole list. He couldn't use anything else as an excuse of why he wasn't working on this marriage with her. Because Mary did everything he asked of her, and he still wasn't willing to participate in his marriage. Listen, Cody didn't give a fuck about anything on the list. He never had any intention, regardless of what Mary did or what he put on the list or if she completed it or not. He didn't give a fuck. He never planned on working on the relationship. He just wanted Mary to be off, busy with spinning her wheels, working on that list so that she feels like they're doing something, so that he can just move on with not paying her any attention. And so Robin can feel like Cody is doing what she wants him to with Mary. Cody just created hoops for Mary to jump through, never-ending hoops, shifting goalposts to keep Mary thinking that this is on her, and once she does all these things, then he'll be willing to try. Cody never intended on trying. He was never willing to try. He was just keeping Mary busy, spinning his yarn to just keep her hanging on, to keep Robin happy. Cody did this with all of his wives. Cody did the same thing with the pandemic when he wanted to ignore his wives and neglect his kids. And then he wanted to blame them for why he wasn't around. He wanted to blame them for not jumping through his ever-shifting hoops. It's the same bullshit Cody always does to manipulate everyone, to keep them busy spinning their wheels when he has no intention of actually being there. He has no intention on working on anything. And the goals keep shifting, and he makes it intentionally impossible so then later he can blame you for why he isn't there and why he isn't trying. Cody is a coward. He acts like a son of a bitch. Cody's manipulative, Cody's toxic as fuck, and I sincerely hope all of these women find real men who are worth their time, because Cody is a toxic shitbag, and in my opinion, he probably always will be. Cody is the one who can never be what these women all deserve. And deep down, underneath that ego, Cody knows what a loser he is. I believe he's very insecure. He knows he's not good enough. And I think that's why he creates these impossible demands no one can meet, that he can then blame you for why he's not around. He knows he's not good enough, so he wants to make everyone around him feel like less than. That's his way of dealing with how insecure and insignificant and weak he is. Cody's a coward, and it shows. Mary needs a lot of time to adjust to being single. So she has officially only been single a month. It's really been more like a decade, but it's only been official for a month. So Jen really wants Mary to get into dating. She wants to know what Mary is into, what kind of a guy she wants. Mary wants to think about it. She wants to think about what she wants in her dream man. Mary admits she hasn't thought about this since she was 19, and back then she picked a Kotex. So Mary really wants to give this some very careful thought. Back in Lehigh, Christine and David are moving in after just a few months of knowing each other, and Isabel is seeing this new beautiful house for the first time, and she loves it. Janelle is really happy to see Christine moving forward with David. Janelle's kids remember how religious and straight-laced Christine used to be when she was raising them, and they see how different she is now. And Janelle remembers that when Garrison was a kid, once he used the F word, and Christine was so strict that she sent Garrison to his room for the whole evening, and he even had to eat dinner in his room, and no one was allowed to talk to him for the whole evening, just for saying fuck once. Christine was very straight-laced, and now she has a tattoo. Now she's moving in with David. So this is a new Christine that everybody gets to see. Isabel is having a hard time adjusting to David. She thinks it's weird how fast her mom is moving in with David. Things are moving really fast. And Isabel says they're going really fast, so there isn't really a lot of time to consider the possible pitfalls of the relationship. Things are really moving really quickly, and Isabel worries about that. And she should worry about that. That is a concern. Christine knows Isabel is concerned with how fast things are moving, but Christine has no intention of slowing down for anyone. Christine knows that she and David are sure about moving in, and she thinks everyone will catch up with them in their own time. And even though Isabel is struggling, Isabel likes David. She thinks he's a good guy, but she's worried because her mom never lived with a man full time, and that's very different to the experience she had with Cody. Christine has discussed this with David. She admitted that she was nervous. She has never lived with a man full time before in a monogamous relationship. David's going to be around every night. He's going to be around every morning. And Christine has never had that experience. She never experienced monogamy. So at 50, to do this for the first time, that's a lot. Now, Christine recalls being used to being married to Cody. And that was seeing him maybe every third or fourth night. He really wasn't around much other than that. He would just come over on his night right before dinner. He would have dinner. He would just stay that night, and he would just leave early the next morning. And they really didn't see Cody much for the rest of the time. So that's much different than what she's doing now with David, of course. Christine is really excited. She's very nervous about living with a guy full-time for the first time. She knows this is normal to live together when you get married, but she's nervous because she's never experienced this before. David assured Christine he understands and he's willing to give her whatever space she needs. But Christine doesn't regret her decision to move in. Janelle says, Christine's going to be living with David full time. It's the first time ever. They're going to be together day and night. And Janelle knows how weird that is compared to what Christine was used to. I think it's going to be a big adjustment, and Christina's going to see sides of David she didn't know were there. She's going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. You never really know a man or a partner until you live with them and you experience them living in your house full time, and you see them under stress, in health, in good times and bad. You see how they handle adversity, and then you really get to know them mask on, mask off, and then you see if you can really live with the person, if you really love the person. And Christine might be in for a wonderful experience. She might be in for a rude awakening. You never know. Next, we're back in Flagstaff over at the Goblin's Lair, where Mary is coming over to tell Cody and Robin that she has decided to move to Parowan before her lease is up. Mary doesn't think Cody cares, but she's doing it anyway. Part of Mary wonders why Cody and Robin even need to know since they aren't family anymore. Part of her feels like they've been in each other's lives for a very long time. She was in a relationship with Cody for over 30 years. So because of that, she wants to tell him just because for her it feels right to. The hardest part about leaving for Mary is the kids. Mary knows it's going to be sad not to be able to see them, but she admits at the same time, even when she's been local in Flagstaff, she hasn't really seen the kids much over the past few years, even though she's basically right next door. Now, Mary says even when she's in Flagstaff, it always felt like pulling teeth to be able to see the kids. Robin should have been way more welcoming and hospitable. She knows her kids are close with Mary. She knows how much Mary loves her kids and how isolated and alone Mary feels at times. She knows what Mary sacrificed in getting the legal divorce so that Cody could adopt Robin's kids. You would think Robin would be all about welcoming Mary. But because Robin got all she wanted out of Mary, Robin no longer really had that interest in maintaining that relationship or having Mary over, being hospitable, letting Mary be around her family and her kids so that Mary could feel loved. Robin is only a supportive friend when she needs something from somebody. So Mary, the woman who gave up her legal marriage for Robin and her kids, Mary, who sacrificed so much for those kids, says that it feels like pulling teeth to see those kids. You would think Robin and her kids would have a lot more gratitude. Mary recalls that she would text Robin wanting to get together and it would just never happen. Mary doesn't know why, but she says it's been so hard because there's nothing left for Robin to suck. She can't get any more perks or benefits. There's nothing to get out of it, so she's not interested. Because Mary, in Robin's eyes, is only there to be her emotional support person or when she needs something from her and she wants to butter her up. Then she's welcome. Then they're best friends. Then Robin acts like she's concerned. Then Mary gets the invites. But when there's nothing to suck out of Mary, Robin clams up. Robin's not interested. There's nothing to get out of it. That's how cold and calculating that witch is. So Mary doesn't know why it's been so hard, but it's been hard because Robin no longer has a use for Mary. She sucked her dry. She knows Mary will no longer be her emotional support person. And since there is nothing Robin needs from Mary, there is nothing for Robin to gain, she dropped her like a hot potato and she genuinely no longer gives a fuck about her. Even during the pandemic, let's not forget when Cody wanted Mary to stop by and visit. He knew Mary was isolated. He knew Mary was safe, following all of his ridiculous protocols. And Robin was the one who refused to extend an invitation to Mary. Robin shut Cody down. Robin made excuses, saying that the other wives would be pissed that they weren't welcomed, when the other wives wouldn't even have given a fuck. Robin is only a friend to Mary when she needs something from her. Legal wife status, help with my sister wife's closet, an emotional support person to vent to. Other than that, Mary can just kick rocks. Fuck Mary in Robin's eyes. Robin doesn't care. Robin is selfish. Robin is manipulative. Robin's a user. And Mary has nothing Robin wants from her, so those texts go unanswered. This is really cruel. This is really unfair to Mary because Mary is loyal. Mary has consistently been more loyal to Robin than she should have been. Mary sacrificed more for Robin than she should have. And Robin doesn't hesitate to discard Mary, who genuinely loves her, who genuinely loves her children. Robin was even involved with the catfish fuckery through her friend. So Mary deserves better friends, and I'm really glad that she seems to have them in Parowan, in Jen, and in Blair, and probably in a bunch of other people that we don't see on the show. It's awkward as fuck with Mary there when she walks in. Robin wants to know right off the bat if this is a conversation that's safe for the kids to be there. This is about the M word, moving. Robin says this whole thing with the family has been really hard. The thing with Mary has been hard. And Robin says she is really trying very hard to protect her younger kids. Really, Robin's trying hard to protect her younger kids. You have to use the letter M for moving and spell things out and be so careful. But we have Ari, a little kid who obviously heard a lot of stuff she shouldn't. When Christine was saying her goodbye, she yelled, "Go on dates," so inappropriately. She also, on her first day of school, Ari came back and was talking about, "Oh, I had a boyfriend and my friend had a boyfriend and she was mad at me because her boyfriend broke up with her," and all this silly, crazy shit that a little kid shouldn't even know. Why do the little kids know that? Because they hear Robin and Cody talking about adult things, but here Robin wants to be so protective of her kids. So Mary asks Cody and Robin if they can help her with moving and if Cody can help drive down to Parowan with her to help move the stuff. Cody wants to know why Mary is moving so early. He seems concerned about her moving so early. And this is a guy who had no problem relegating Mary to the barn dominium with his old tools that he doesn't want anymore. So now he's upset. Why is she moving so early? So Mary says she doesn't understand Cody because he has done everything in his power to push her away for the past decade. So they flash back to Cody telling Mary on a past anniversary that he has a really hard time visualizing them as a family in the future. And he tells Mary that makes him wonder if people who have been unhappy for so many years couldn't just leave. Mary points out that now she's moving and Cody is asking, "Oh, why so soon?" So Mary wonders why Cody cares. And she asks, "Isn't this what you wanted?" "This is all for show. Poor me. Pity me. Oh, Sonny and Cher's divorce when I was 5. Cody needs to fuck off. Nobody feels sorry for him except himself and his stupid wife. And even she's losing respect for him. Cody explains that his immediate reaction in his heart when he found out Mary was moving was that this would be really good for Mary. And he admits he never tells Mary what is going on in his heart anymore because it's not safe. Cody's the one that's not safe. Cody is a toxic dipshit who's a coward. Cody's not safe with his anger and resentment, with his delusions, with his lack of self-awareness, with his insecurity and the constant endless need for his ego to be fed. Cody is unsafe. Cody is toxic. It's not the people around him, it's him. So Cody doesn't tell Mary what's in his heart. It's not safe to tell Mary what's in his heart now. But let's not forget, Cody didn't mind venting to Mary about all of his emotions and all of his issues, using her as an emotional support person as a way of stringing her along, making her feel like they had a chance. It was safe then for Cody to open up to her when he could take a huge dump on her and vent. Then it was safe, but now it's not. Fuck Cody. Cody's the one that's unsafe. Robin looks constipated throughout this conversation. She acts confused. She thought Mary was moving in the summer. These two don't even see Mary anyway. They don't even call to check on how she's doing, and now all of a sudden they give a fuck. Get out of here. Cody wasted decades of Mary's life. He strung her along for how long? And now he wants to whine, "Oh, she's moving so soon." Listen, Mary has no more time to waste. I don't even understand why she's sitting in Robin's house right now. Neither of these clowns give an actual fuck about her. Mary explains to Robin that she's moving. She wants help loading her stuff. She asks Cody if he would mind helping her drive the truck up to Parowan for her. Cody agrees to it, and Mary makes a joke that this is her severance package. Robin finds this all amusing and funny. Cody doesn't know how to take it. He says it's a weird place to be with the severance package comment. He doesn't know if it's passive aggressive or just aggressive or if it's just a joke. Cody doesn't know, and he says he hasn't known how to take things his whole marriage. Listen, Cody's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Cody has zero self-awareness. Mary's joke dinged his ego, and he knows that. Mary says when she got her legal divorce, she failed to ask for alimony. And she says she put 30 years into this, and now she wants Cody to help her move and get out. And then at that point, they're just going to call it even. I wouldn't if I were her. Robin wants to know how Mary feels about this. And Mary says she feels good and she's really ready to be in control of her limbo land. Mary explains that her limbo land is her wanting to heal her marriage and her relationships while she was just waiting on Cody to be ready to invest. Cody was giving her all this false hope that he was going to invest when she does this. She did all those things. So she was just wanting to heal her marriage, wanting to heal all the relationships, just waiting on Cody for so long. That was her limbo land. So Robin says she can totally understand how Mary would feel in that space, wondering when Cody is going to respond, wondering when Cody would choose to work this out with her and make that effort. Robin says Mary wasn't living her full life because she was always waiting for Cody. Really, Robin understands now? Robin was putting a lot of pressure on Cody to string Mary along. Robin herself was giving Mary false hope, being manipulative as fuck, telling Mary things like, Cody talks about you, Cody pictures you out here on the land, Cody thinks about calling you, Cody mentioned visiting you. Robin can say she gets it now, but Robin was also actively involved in enabling Cody to string Mary along. And Cody was doing that to please Robin. Robin put a lot of pressure on Cody to string Mary along. And Cody didn't want to piss Robin off. Cody is ultimately responsible for how cruel and disgusting and unfair he was with Mary, but Robin helped enable that toxic behavior. And she can say she understands now, but if she truly understood, she wouldn't have enabled Cody. She wouldn't have put pressure on Cody to continue this. She wouldn't have contributed to giving Mary all of that false hope. Cody counsels Mary that movement feels better than stagnation. Movement feels better than waiting, even if you happen to move in the wrong direction. Great advice, Cody. Great advice. Now, Mary says Cody didn't have the integrity or the courage to actually sit down with her and have a conversation. Didn't have the balls or the courage to sit with Mary and tell her this is not going to work when he knew in his mind that it was completely done. Mary says it was Cody trying to do everything he could intentionally to push her away so that she would be the one to leave, so that she would be the one to call it, so he could say, well, I didn't do anything. She's the one who left me. Ding, ding, ding. Mary is spot on here. Cody blames Robin in his confessional scene for why he strung Mary along for so long. He says Robin frequently asked him to hold on with Mary. He says Robin was always supportive of Mary and Cody and their relationship, and he dragged things out so long because Robin told him it wasn't right for him to break things off with Mary, that Mary has to be the one to do this. And Cody eventually told Robin Mary wouldn't be the one to break it off on her own, and he was at a place where he just felt he and Mary weren't safe together. So why wasn't Cody man enough to just say, fuck Robin, fuck what she wants, I have to have respect for Mary. I married Mary. Robin didn't marry Mary. This is my marriage with Mary, and I'm going to sit her down and have this conversation like a man. Why couldn't Cody be a man? It doesn't matter what Robin whispered in Cody's ear. It doesn't matter what Robin wanted. Cody was in this marriage with Mary. If he was a man who respected Mary as a human being, as a mother of his kid, as a woman who gave her best decades of her life to him, he would have went to Mary and had the balls as a man, as a husband, to have that conversation with her rather than taking advantage of her loyalty and her love for him and her religion and her faith and her dedication to that. Cody's a coward. He has a very low consciousness, and it shows in all he says and does. And Robin is toxic as fuck. But Cody could have respected Mary enough, human to human, to just talk to her rather than lying to her, rather than stringing her along, rather than giving her empty words, rather than giving her false hope, rather than manipulating her to keep her in, giving her just crumbs just to please his favorite wife. Mary deserves more than that level of disrespect. This is a man who was more than happy to relegate Mary to living in his barn dominium, put away, hung up to dry with all of his rusted, old, unused tools in storage. And Cody thought when he was doing that he was being so generous to Mary, doing Mary a kindness. That's how low Cody is. Cody's trash. Cody's trash, and it's obvious. Now, back in Lehigh, it's moving day for Christine and David. Isabel feels there's a lot of change, and she also feels her mom is changing a lot too. But Isabel says her mom is changing for the better. Janelle notices the change in Christine too. Janelle says Christine still feels even more of who she was, the fun parts. And the sad parts that were there are gone mostly now. Janelle says Christine is much more comfortable in her own skin than she has been in a very long time. Janelle feels that plural marriage was very hard for Christine. And now that she has shed all of those sad things, they now get to see more and more of the fun, loving, vivacious Christine. Isabel is having a really hard time processing all of this. It's a lot of change. This is a lot for her. And she is concerned about David. She asks her mom if she's sure about this, if they will last. And Christine says she's sure it's going to be for the rest of her life. So Isabel asks her mom, well, what if it's not for the rest of your life? And Christine thinks it will be. I mean, of course you're going to think it will be forever, but you don't actually know that. Now, it is hopeful to assume that it's going to work forever. Of course you're going to hope for that, but it's also naive to really go this fast and really expect it to last forever when you haven't even lived with a guy for even a week yet. Realistically, Christine doesn't really know David. She can love him. She can feel it's right. They can both feel they're on the same wavelength. They can feel that they're each other's soulmates. But Christine really doesn't know David in bad times during stress. She doesn't know all of his faults. She doesn't know how he is on bad days. She doesn't know what his moods are. And she is jumping in all the way, both feet, because she has wanted this for so long. And I understand her rush to want to do this. She's 50. David's like 9 years older than her. They're already getting up there in age. So of course they don't have a lot of time and they want to enjoy each other and they know that this feels right for now and they want to do this. I understand why they're moving so quickly, but I also understand why Christine's kids are concerned. If I was Christine's kid, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be down with this. Even if I really like David a lot, I would be very concerned. Now, if it doesn't work, Christine will love and she will live and she will learn for this and she'll be fine. The reality is it may work and it may not work. And if it doesn't work, I believe Christine will survive. I don't think the sky is going to fall. I don't think it'll be the end of the world if it doesn't work. Christine is experiencing real love for the first time at 50, and she is kind of approaching it naively, kind of like a teenager would. Maybe it will last forever. I hope it does last forever. Maybe Christine and David will only be on the same wavelength for a time. Whatever experience she gets out of this, I think it'll be a positive one, whether it works or not. I think it'll be good for Christine. And I think Christine is resilient. If it doesn't work, she'll heal. She'll learn more about herself. She'll learn more about love and relationships. And this is really Christine's first time getting into love, getting into a monogamous relationship. And if she makes a mistake, if this happens to be the wrong choice, she'll learn a lot and she'll live. She'll move on. Most people don't even end up with their first love for the rest of their lives. If it doesn't work out, it's really not the end of the world. But I think Christine's kids have a right to feel concern. I think Christine's kids have a right to not trust David yet all the way. They really don't know him. Christine doesn't even fully know David. I think Christine's kids are worried because if things go too fast, if they implode, they're worried that all of their mom's happiness is coming from this relationship situation. They're worried that maybe Christine won't be able to pick herself up and get back up if things don't work out. But I think if Christine could handle co-tex for decades in a plural marriage, if, God forbid, things don't go well with David, there is no doubt in my mind that sure, yeah, Christine would be hurt, but I think Christine would be able to handle it. I think Christine would be able to get back up. And I really don't think, even if it didn't work out, that Christine would ever regret that experience that she had. I think regardless of how things work out, it'll be all good. Christine will survive whatever comes her way. She already got through plural marriage and co-tex for decades. She'll get through this if it doesn't work out. I don't think it's going to be a sky is falling type of thing. I think Christine would be just fine. Personally, I do think it's going too fast, and I do think she should wait, if only for her kids' sake, so that they can be a little more comfortable. Just go a tad slower. I'm not saying she has to go the speed of what a regular relationship would go, but a little bit slower. But, Christina's been lonely for decades. And for the first time in her life, she finally feels seen and understood. And I get why she wants to just go with this at lightning speed. She wants to soak it all in. Come what may, she wants to dive in head first. And I understand the need for urgency, the feeling of wanting to go through with this. Christine's strong, and I think however the cookie crumbles, she will be fine. And I think David really seems like a genuinely good guy, and it seems like his intentions are in the right place. It's working out for now. Hopefully it works out for forever. But if it doesn't, again, it's not like the sky's going to fall. Christine says she feels much calmer inside since meeting David, and she feels with David there's a steadying peace inside her that wasn't there before. Isabel is very concerned with her mom marrying David, what will happen with her relationship with her father. So Isabel asks her mom if David will try to replace their dad. And Christine says no one would ever replace their dad. Christine explains if they need a father figure, if they need someone like that, David will be willing to be there. David will be whatever Isabel needs. So Isabel worries that having her dad, having a chance at having a close relationship with him is slowly going away. She feels like with Christine marrying David, that chance is going away. Christine says Isabel really wants a dad, and she wants her dad. She wants Cody. And Christine tells Isabel that David will make a great stepdad. He's not ever going to be her father. So Isabel is in tears over this. She's worried that her relationship with her father, Cody, will be desolate, that her relationship with her father will not exist anymore because David will be there. If Cody were a decent man, this is where Cody would reassure his kids, I will always be there. I love you. I'm sorry I've made mistakes. I want to have good relationships with you. I'm willing to put in the effort. I'm willing to invest. I love you. I'll always be your father. No matter what, I'll be your father. This is a time where Cody could be there, where Cody could do that. But Cody isn't even pretending to try. Isabel points out that David hasn't tried to be her father. She doesn't think he's going to try to be her dad or try to take over. But she hopes that David has everybody else in mind and that David has respect for everybody and their boundaries. And David doesn't really seem like the type of guy who's going to come in and try to be a father unless one of the kids comes to him and initiates that type of a relationship and wants that from him. David doesn't seem like he's going to impose himself on these children. I really don't think he's that type of guy. But I understand Isabel's concern because Cody is virtually non-existent in her life as a present father. And so, of course, naturally, she's concerned. Christine assures Isabel that she always wanted her kids to have great relationships with their dad. And David coming in is just someone else to love. And she makes it clear David will never replace Cody. Isabel is in tears, and she points out that David comes across as a very present, invested father with his own children. So through tears, Isabel wonders, she says, how lovely would that be? She would love to have a relationship that is as amazing with her own father. These kids love their dad so much. They want their dad's love so much. It breaks my heart to see this. Cody couldn't even make it to Isabel's major surgery. And Cody was the first person Isabel asked for when she woke up from surgery. She wanted her father. She wanted her father. These kids just want to know that their dad loves them, that he cares about them, that they matter to him, that he's invested in them. These kids have so much love to give their dad despite all of the toxicity, despite all of the neglect, despite all of the suffering he inflicted. They want their dad. They love their dad. And their dad doesn't have any love to give back. And this is so sad. An episode or two ago, Cody said he pledged on his birthday to be a good father. He prayed to God and he pledged he was going to be a better father. So where is the action behind that? Where is the effort from Cody to really be there for his kids, to really be there for Gabe, for Isabel, for Garrison? We just don't see Cody trying, and we see how hurt the kids are. And it's heartbreaking to see all of the emotional pain when all it takes is Cody loving his children, Cody being there for all of his children, Cody taking accountability for his mistakes, Cody acknowledging the hurt he caused, Cody acknowledging the emotional suffering that his kids feel. These kids would do anything to be close to their father. But what would Cody do to be close to them? Because so far we see Cody do nothing. They need their father, and we see Cody do nothing. All Cody knows to do is play victim and feel sorry for himself. And I am sick and tired of seeing that. This really is so heart-wrenching. Only a coward could allow his kids to feel that level of pain, knowing they could just ease it with their love and their time and their attention and accountability. But Cody doesn't lose any sleep over his kids. He doesn't lose sleep over his kids' pain. It's all about his suffering, his self-pity, how he's the victim. Time and time again, we've seen Cody's kids cry for him. We see them shed tears. When has Cody shed a tear for anyone but himself? Back in Flagstaff, over at the Goblin's Lair, Robin has Mary tell the kids that she's moving. Robin is hesitant to tell the kids. She knows her kids are going to be sad about it, so she would prefer to delay it, but Cody wants Mary to tell the kids now. Robin knows that they might need to tell the kids, but she has been intentionally delaying it because she doesn't want to see her kids sad. She doesn't want to see her kids feel any disappointment over this. So Mary's going to talk to the kids. She's going to tell them she's moving. So Mary explains that Saul and Ari have only known their lives with her in it in a small part. And she asks the kids to help she and their mom and their dad help her move to Utah. Mary really doesn't want to give up on the relationship with Saul. She says she has a very sweet relationship with Saul. She's always had a good relationship with Saul from day one, a very sweet relationship. She wants to try and maintain that, but she doesn't know what the future will hold, and she doesn't know what will happen with that. And Mary also knows that Ari loves her very much, and she loves Ari very much. So Cody knows that this is really sad for his kids. They don't know the next time they're going to see Mary again, and they're going to wonder if they'll see Mary at the holidays for every holiday. They're going to wonder if they'll see Mary ever again. Robin says she knows that Mary has always loved her kids. She should know after the sacrifice of the legal divorce so that Cody could adopt her kids. That was a huge sacrifice that went completely underappreciated, in my opinion, by Robin. So Robin should know that Mary loves her kids, and Robin should pick up the phone when Mary texts her and wants to come over and see them. Robin should have no problem welcoming Mary with a quickness into her home. But apparently it was like pulling teeth after the sacrifice of giving up her legal marriage for Robin. So Robin is concerned that her kids will be sad. They'll wonder why this is happening. But she knows Mary wishes that things didn't have to be this way. Cody admits that it feels weird. It's sad because for him, he's very sad that it's the end of an era. Yeah, an era that he ended with intention. He intentionally pushed each of these women out systematically, and he used the pandemic as a catalyst for that, in my opinion. Robin, of course, has to validate Cody and defend him, and she says she can see Cody sad. She can see how sad he is. And she says he's gotten emotional so many times over this. And she sees how hard it is on him Oh, poor victim Cody. But Robin also says Cody is the one who chose this. Cody chose this. Cody adds that there are so many mixed emotions, but it's good for Mary to move. It's a new beginning for her. But Cody says his little nostalgic heart is just a little bit broken. Maybe instead of talking about Sonny and Cher and how it blew his mind at the age of 5, it rocked his world, their divorce. And instead of worrying about his little broken heart, Cody should worry about his kids and their broken hearts and how he broke them. Robin says she saw other plural wives in their families who had this bond where they have each other's backs, and that's what she really wanted. And she says she knows part of that is her rooting for Cody's relationships with his other wives. And Robin says, to be honest, she was happier and Cody was happier when Cody was in a good place with his other wives. Robin says Mary has always been open and interested in wanting a relationship with her. And Robin says she wanted it too. They worked on their relationship and there was something beautiful there. It was beautiful to know that your sister wife had your back. And she feels she and Mary had that. Mary had Robin's back, no doubt. But did Robin really have Mary's? I don't know. I don't think so. Now, Robin says the flip side to the beauty of a good, strong relationship with your sister wife is if it's not good, then it can be really tough. It can be really scary. It can be really hard. And guys, guess what? It can even be threatening. It can be threatening. And Robin wants to take this time to play victim and talk about how she was victimized by her sister wives. Really? So Robin feels threatened by her sister wives, or is Robin projecting that she knows that she was the favorite wife all this time and that possibly, potentially, that threatened the other relationships? Was she a threat or were they? Robin is no victim. Robin wasn't threatened. Robin will take any opportunity she can to feel sorry for herself, to pity herself, and to frame herself as the victim. It's really pathetic. Robin was the favorite wife from day one. Robin got the lion's share of Cody's time, Cody's investment, Cody's attention, as Cody neglected 3 other marriages in this plural family and all of his other kids to meet Robin's needs and to give her all that favorite wife attention. And now Robin wants to say she feels her sister wives didn't always have her back, when she knows she's the one who added to the resentment. She triangulated her husband into her issues with her sister wives, and Cody was manipulative with his other wives to try and get them to treat Robin with more deference. So if any of the sister wives felt threatened, it was them feeling unsafe around Robin and her manipulative ways. Robin was the one who was threatening. Robin was the one who was manipulative. Robin was the one who wasn't safe. Robin was the one who always gave Cody relationship advice for each of his relationships. Robin tried to interfere in each of his private marriages, in his private marital issues, claiming she was the one who can speak Cody better than anybody else. She was the one wanting to play the marriage counselor from day one in each of the marriages. Even on Cody and Robin's little sexcation, it was Robin who was now a part of each separate marriage. Cody clued Robin in with each relationship. Everything had to go through Robin. She inserted herself in each marriage, and Cody allowed her to be there. And Robin would bitch to Cody about her issues with her other sister wives. She kept Cody feeling resentful of them, as if they don't accept her. She kept Cody resentful against his other wives, feeling like he has to protect his sweet angel cap in hand from the mean girl bullies who just won't accept her, when that was not the case. Now, Robin has the nerve to play victim and feel sorry for herself here, saying that when things are bad with sister wives, it can be threatening. And she says she definitely felt like some of her sister wives hadn't had her back. My question is, when has she had theirs? When has she had theirs? No one gives a fuck how Robin feels. I certainly don't, and I'm sick and tired of her victim narrative. Next, Robin has the audacity to say that she definitely felt like there was a campaign against her. Was there a campaign against Robin, or was Robin paranoid as fuck, feeling guilty as fuck because she knew she was favorite wife. She knew she was essentially living monogamy with Cody, that Cody was investing in her more, giving her more time, money, effort, energy, and he had to give her all of that time and energy that was taken from time that should have gone to other wives and their kids. He was neglecting other households in the plural family to meet all of Robin's needs and invest so fully in her. And Robin knew that, and maybe Robin is projecting her paranoia because she knows she's the favorite wife. There was no campaign against this woman other than in her sick brain. Next, Robin says there are days when she just wants to scream at everyone and say, "What the heck? What the heck? This is not the way it was supposed to go." And this is Robin feeling sorry for herself, wanting the world to feel sorry for her, wanting pity because plural marriage didn't manifest the way she planned for it to go when she made her vision boards. This isn't what she pictured in her mind. This isn't the ideal, perfect picture she imagined it would be. And so now, because she wasn't able to get that, she is the victim of her sister wives who failed to let her dream manifest. Robin sounds like a spoiled toddler. Life isn't usually ideal. It's not going to happen the way you picture it all of the time. Most of the time, life isn't the ideal way that you want it, and you accept that. Robin, in my opinion, is angry deep down. She's bitter, she's hateful, she's resentful, she's manipulative, and she is angry things didn't play out in the ideal way she pictured. And now, because it didn't turn out the way she wanted, and because she knows she is culpable in this, accepting all the attention she got as favorite wife without having their backs, now she wants to paint the ex-wives as the evil, mean girls who didn't have her back, and she is their victim, and they have a campaign against her. This campaign against Robin only exists in Cody and Robin's delusional minds. No one gives a fuck about Robin, and I'm sick of seeing her and Cody and their toxic bullshit on my TV screen. I can't wait till these two no longer have a platform to spew their pestilence. I would rather see a spin-off show with just Janelle, Mary, Christine, and their kids and how they build their lives post-Cody. No one needs to see Cody and Robin stewing in their misery, trapped under their suffocating black cloud. I have had enough of these energy vampires. It's draining to watch them. It's not fun. It's not entertaining. It's a chore. Cody and Robin are a chore worse than cleaning the toilet. Why are they even on TLC? The only thing we get from these two is playing victim, taking zero accountability, feeling sorry for themselves. They exude misery. I literally cringe when either one of them is on my TV screen or speaking. These are two gross, repulsive individuals that we don't need to see on our TV screens. Next up, we have love and positivity from Christine and David. As they go off-roading in Moab, they moved in yesterday, and now it's David's best friend's birthday, and they are going off-roading in Moab together. Christine, David, and Truly were strapped in. They were enjoying off-roading, and it looked so fun. So they got to this beautiful overlook, and David's friend acted like he was taking a photo of them. And at that point, David dropped down on one knee and he proposed. He told Christine this was his favorite place in all the world. She was his favorite person to be with. And David tells Christine they've talked about getting married. They had many good times. And at this point, he asked Christine to marry him. It's very sweet. It's very cute. It's very beautiful. It's very intuitive. And of course, Christine says yes. And we see their love-filled wedding. That was beautiful. That was probably the best wedding I've ever seen. Now, Christine says David is so sweet, he's romantic, and he's real. Christine had no idea that David was going to propose. And David told Christine she was the only one for him and she is special. I felt it was a very sweet moment. Christine was very surprised. She loved all David said and she felt it was perfect. And of course, she loved David getting down on one knee because I'm sure Christine didn't get that with Cody. So Christine had the perfect day and she's very excited and she feels like her life is starting all over again. And she has a whole new level of love that she never had before. Christine says she's loved so deeply and richly. David loves her and only her, and there is no question about it. Christine says she never felt this way before. She never loved anyone this much either. She says she never loved Cody as much as she loves David, and she was never in love with Cody the way she is with David. And Christine was very surprised with the proposal. She wasn't expecting it at that point. So David says he may move slow with the kissing, but he moves fast with everything else. The best thing is to see Christine feeling this relief. You could see her vibrant, feeling at peace, full of life. She has peace. She has security. She feels seen. She feels loved for the first time in her life. And that's an awesome thing to see. I sincerely hope Christine and David have this love for forever. And whether it's for forever or just for a time, Christine is lucky that she gets to experience this, because there are so many people who never even get to find this kind of love, even once in their lives, even for a time. So it may be later on in life, it may be moving quickly for Christine, but I would say it's just at the right time for Christine, and she deserves this. And I hope Christine enjoys this peace and warmth and happiness and love for the rest of her life with David. That's it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next episode of Sister Wives. Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 11, The 11th Hour, where Cody sheds crocodile tears after Mary moves away. Cody is sobbing, feeling sorry for himself, saying it's the end of an era, finding it oh so hard to say goodbye to Mary. Cody wants pity. Cody wants us to feel sorry for him. I have no pity to give. We should all have zero empathy for this man. Did Cody have any fucks to give about the way his toxic behavior and intentional cruelty affected Mary? Cody didn't give a fuck, provided he got the end result he wanted, which was Mary calling it quits before he did. Cody was intentionally cruel to Mary. He pushed her away for decades, and now he's acting like his heart is ripped apart because Mary has moved away, when this is what he wanted all along and he knows it. The Tiny Violin is coming out next week, special for Cody, the victim. Cody's sad, but the only person's sadness any of us should have empathy for, in my opinion, is what these women and what Cody's children had to go through. Dealing with Cody's neglect, dealing with his manipulation, dealing with his toxicity, his emotional abuse, and his intentional cruelty. As a viewer, I couldn't care less about Cody's tears. When we weighed this display of self-pity against the years of stress and pain and trauma and suffering of having to deal with someone who behaves like he does, I could care less about Cody's tears. The only people I have empathy for are Cody's wives, his ex-wives, and his children. We see the women move on. We see them build constructive lives. We see Christine and Janelle maintain a support system for all the kids in the family despite leaving Cody. We see peace and we see love for Christine. We see freedom. We see relief. We see happiness for everyone but Cody and Robin. All we see is them disintegrating before our eyes, stewing in their misery, bitter as ever. We see Cody angry, playing a role. We see Robin playing the victim. This is what Cody wanted. Cody is free from his obstacles, but he and his wife are more miserable than ever. It's as if a thick cloud hangs over them. They got what they wanted. They're free, and they descend more and more into negativity, anger, bitterness. But we see the women excited about the new possibilities in their lives, building their futures. They stay strong for their kids. Mary has her in. Mary has her friends in Parowan. Christine found love. Janelle's moving forward. Everyone is blooming. Everyone is doing well. Everyone but Cody and Robin. Cody has his crocodile tears the night before Christmas. Robin was sobbing on the bathroom floor. They are miserable. But the women free from Cody just seem to emanate light and hope. They have relief in their eyes. They have relief on their faces. They're full of life. While Cody and Robin exude a heavy darkness, misery, doom and gloom. Everything is doom and gloom. Everything feels angry. Everything is harsh. It's very interesting to see that even free from his obstacles, Cody looks more miserable, more sad, more bitter, more angry than ever. We see everyone else happy and Cody and Robin miserable. And I think they'll always be miserable. I think they'll always be suffering. I think they'll always be struggling, because look at the price they paid to be free from their obstacles, to get what they want. When you pay that price and you fuck with karma, karma comes for you. They're going to suffer the rest of their lives probably. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I will see you soon. I'll see you next week. Bye.